In the bustling heart of Ibadan, where dreams collide with reality, Femi, a daring 24-year-old student, stood at a crossroads. An exam loomed just 7 days away, but his heart raced for a different test, a journey to meet Precious, a mysterious girl from Facebook who promised 4 days of passion in Edo. Their chats, filled with sweet words and bold promises, had hooked him. She teased soon for weeks, and now the moment was here. Precious said this was their only chance, her life too restricted for another. Femi, hungry for adventure, couldn't say no. Why should I knock before coming in? And where you going with those clothes? Uche, his best friend, asked, plopping onto a chair in Femi's tiny hostel room. Femi grinned, stuffing a shirt into his bag. Which question should I answer first? Well, I'm off to my village. And next time, you should knock and wait. What if I'm with a girl? He laughed, and they both chuckled, remembering when Femi barged into Uche's place for a textbook and caught him with a girl, too lost to notice. Femi grabbed the book, gave a thumbs up, and dashed out. Why this trip now? Exams are in a week. You good? Uche asked, concern in his eyes, as Femi zipped his bag. Chill, I know about the exams, Femi said. I'll be back in 4 days, there is still plenty of time to study. I am going for just a family prayer thing. He lied smoothly. He couldn't tell Uche he was crossing states to meet Precious, a girl he'd never seen, with exams so close. It sounded too wild. But Precious had painted a picture, 4 days alone, like a honeymoon. Exams could wait, after all other students cheat and pass, so he'd manage. Edo was calling. Femi was a charmer, fair and smooth with words, making girls fall easy. He didn't want girlfriends, just friends with benefits, moving on when the spark faded. He craved variety, tall, short, slim, thick, young, older, wanting to taste life fully before settling down. Precious, with her flirty, spicy talk, was his next thrill. Uche walked him to the park, where Femi hopped on a bus to Osogbo, the first step to Edo. The ride was smooth, and he felt alive. He called Precious often, her voice warm and playful. Keep your phone charged, he said. I don't want to get lost in Edo. No stress, my battery lasts all day, she teased. I can't wait to see you, and all you promised. Femi smiled, ignoring nearby ears. Just wait, Precious, you'll see, he said, hanging up. At Osogbo by noon, he texted Precious he just got to Osogbo. At the park, he joined a bus for Edo with 7 people already seated. He got in, making 8, and paid the driver quick. It was 11 a.m., and he figured he'd hit Abuja by noon. The bus needed 5 more, and he leaned back, hopeful. Others grumbled about the delay, speaking his mind. 3 girls climbed in, chatting loudly, and Femi's mood lifted. But 2 guys beside him said, brothers, shift, we need to buy something. He moved, watching them go to the driver, who slipped them money. Femi thought it was change. The driver yelled, Edo, 2 more seats. 2 others joined, but then 2 left, getting money too. Then it clicked. The 7 people he saw were fakes, paid to make the bus seem full, tricking folks like him. The scam made him angry. Hours crawled by, and hunger hit. He bought a gala and coke from a vendor, who cheekily asked to keep the change. His glare made her hand it over fast. He was mad from the weight and hunger, but thought of Precious calmed him, her hugs, her smile, their plans. I'm coming, my dear, he whispered, picturing her. Finally, the last person got on, and the driver shut the door. Femi smiled, glad the wait was done. The driver turned the key. Nothing. Again. Still nothing. No fuel, the driver said, grabbing a can and running off. I'll be back. 20 minutes later, no driver. People got out, stretching, and saw the bus's flat tires and rusty frame, like it hadn't moved in days. Then it hit them, the driver had run off with their money. The bus had been stuck there for 2 days, abandoned. It was almost 3 p.m., and Femi stood with the others, all looking stunned, like they'd dodged a trap but lost something big. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows over Osogbo's chaotic park, where Femi stood among furious passengers, their voices sharp with betrayal. "That man will never know peace," one shouted. "My money will haunt him," another cursed. The fake driver had vanished with their fares, leaving them stranded. Femi, still reeling, had heard wild tales of Edo's scams, but leaving one felt like a punch to the gut. His phone buzzed, snapping him back. It was Precious. "Baby, it's been hours. Where are you?" Her voice trembled with worry. Femi, drained and dusty, mumbled, still in Osogbo. He spared her the messy details, saving the story for when he could rest in her arms, her gentle touch easing his stress. "Even if it's midnight, I'll make it to Edo," he promised. Her sigh of relief gave him a spark of hope. Determined, Femi eyed another bus. This time, he watched closely. People boarded with bags, paying fares, looking like real travelers. Convinced, he paid and settled in, his mind flickering to the money lost to the first scam. It stung, but he brushed it off. A line from an old Yoruba song echoed in his head, "Rain soaked me, sunburned me, but for my love, I don't mind." Today's troubles, heat, sweat, and scams, felt heavier than rain or sun. Then doubt crept in. Precious isn't even my love, he thought. He told her sweet words to win her over, but to him, she was just another thrill. If she was worth keeping, she'd need to impress him, her charm, her vibe, everything had to be just right. Beauty didn't matter much, it was all about the connection. The bus roared to life at 5 p.m., and Femi called Precious, "Fibbing, I'm leaving Osogbo now." The driver moved carefully, unlike the reckless one from Ibadan. Traffic slowed them, and by the time they reached Edo, dusk had settled. Femi stepped off, exhausted but hopeful. Precious would lift his spirits tonight. He'd soon forget this awful day. He dialed her number. "The number you're calling is switched off," the automated voice said. He checked the name again to make sure it was Precious. Confused, he tried again. Same result. "What's this now?" he muttered, glancing at his watch to check the time, which was 7 p.m. He knew no one in Edo, and getting back to Ibadan tonight seemed impossible. Trying not to look lost, Femi walked down the street, redialing Precious's number. Maybe her battery died. She'll call soon, he told himself, clinging to optimism. If she didn't, he'd figure something out. Spotting a rundown hotel nearby, its flickering disco lights and faint music caught his eye. If Precious didn't show, he'd crash here. He stepped inside and ordered a cold beer, hoping to calm his nerves. As he sipped, he noticed women in revealing outfits moving through the dim lounge. One approached, flashing a bold smile and swaying confidently. Another caught his eye from across the room, winking playfully. It dawned on Femi, he'd stumbled into a place where women offered more than conversation. He chuckled, raising his bottle. If Precious didn't call, these women were clearly ready to keep him company. "Handsome, I can make your night," one said, interrupting his thoughts. She wore a tight top and a short skirt, her confidence magnetic. "Check me out," she teased, spinning to show off her figure. Her energy was bold, her smile inviting. Femi motioned her to sit. She slid close, her hand brushing his knee, her touch deliberate. "I can make you happy," she whispered, her voice low and warm. Femi felt a rush but stayed calm. He wasn't ready to decide yet. He checked his phone again, Precious's number was still off. She's not the only girl out there, he thought, glancing at the women around him. Plenty of fine girls here. The woman leaned closer, her hand lingering. "Come with me, I'll treat you right." "It's affordable," she said, standing and offering her hand. Femi hesitated, then grabbed his bag and followed her to a small room nearby. She kept the conversation light, her charm keeping him engaged. Inside, she sat on the bed, patting the spot beside her. "Relax, let's have fun," she said, her smile genuine. Femi sat, unsure but intrigued. She was different, warm, not pushy like others he'd met in similar places. "I always make sure my guests enjoy themselves," she said proudly. "I put my heart into it," so you'll want to come back. Money's hard to earn, so I make sure you get your worth. Femi nodded, impressed. He'd had bad experiences before, rude women who rushed him, souring the mood. You're not like the others, he said. They are mean sometimes. I'd come back for you. He meant it, though he didn't mention he was far from home and might never return. She beamed, happy to have earned his trust. Let's make tonight special, she said, shifting closer. Femi felt a connection, her warmth easing the day's frustrations. She leaned in, ready to continue, when his phone rang. Femi froze. The woman paused, waiting. He grabbed his phone, heart racing, and saw Precious' name on the screen. Femi's phone buzzed relentlessly, the name Precious flashing on the screen. He glanced at the woman waiting on the tattered mattress, her bold smile urging him to stay. A choice hung in the air, answer the call or finish what he'd started. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush, he thought, letting the phone ring out. He returned to the woman, Aini, whose charm had already swept him away. Their time together was electric, leaving him breathless and spent, sprawled on the thin foam like a runner after a marathon. Wow, he panted, grinning. You're worth every kobo and more. Aini laughed, slipping back into her tight skirt, unfazed by the night's work. Femi marveled at her stamina. She's already hunting for the next customer, he thought, shaking his head. Her hustle was relentless, maybe fueled by something stronger than grit. When will I see you again? Aini asked, ignoring his ringing phone. Her job was done, his choices weren't her concern. Next week, for sure, Femi lied, knowing Edo was far from his world. You're unforgettable. Your name, he asked, realizing he didn't know. Aini, short for Iniobong. Everyone here knows me, she said, her eyes already scanning a new arrival, a young man drawing attention from other women. They flaunted their charms, some bold, others playful, but he seemed uninterested, maybe just there to sip a drink and watch the scene. Aini strode toward him, ready to work her magic. Femi dialed Precious. He'd come all the way from Ibadan to Edo for her, risking exams and scams. If she was out of reach, he'd negotiate with Aini to spend the night, then head home and erase Precious from his life. Women were never hard to find, but Precious had a pull he couldn't explain. She picked up instantly. Femi. I'm so sorry, she pleaded. My battery died, and my charger port's bad. I had to use a desktop charger. Please, where are you? You left me hanging, knowing I don't know Edo, he said, his tone sharp but softening. It's fine. I'm at the park. I'm coming now, she promised. Femi trekked back to the park, a short walk from the city hotel. Minutes later, a bike pulled up. In the dark, he didn't recognize the rider's passenger until she called his phone. Hello, he answered, and her voice replied. It was Precious. He broke into a grin, rushing to lift her off the bike in a tight hug. She looked different from her photos, less polished, but her warm smile and curvy frame were enough. Joy surged through him. His mission wasn't a bust after all. Aini had been a thrilling detour, but Precious was the main event. 4 days alone with her, kitchen chats, cozy moments, maybe even a shower like back in his hostel. This was his honeymoon, better than any married couples. They lingered at the park, no rush to leave. Femi spilled the day's chaos, the Osogbo scam, the fake boss, the lost money. I'm tired and starving, he admitted. Don't worry, Precious said, her eyes twinkling. There's food at home. And you can choose, eat the food first or enjoy me first. Her playful tone made him laugh, reminding him of newlyweds teasing each other. This is why people marry, he thought, unlike those stuck with nagging partners, drowning their sorrows in bars. I'll take the food first, he said, chuckling. Aini and the journey had drained him. Your dessert will be sweeter after, he said. The bikeman waited patiently, and Femi offered to pay him off. No need, Precious said. He's with me. He'll take us when we're ready. After catching up, they climbed onto the bike. The driver sped through Edo's lit streets, then veered onto a bumpy, unlit path lined with bushes. Femi's stomach tightened. The road felt too quiet, too remote. The bike stopped suddenly, and the driver muttered, "Sorry, I need to pee quick." "He'll be fast," Precious reassured, but Femi's unease grew. "This isn't safe," he whispered. "It's too dark, too lonely." "Relax, he's just relieving himself," she said, but her voice wavered. The driver returned, apologizing, and reached for the ignition. Before he could start, 4 burly men burst from the bushes, machetes gleaming under the bike's headlight. Precious screamed, begging them not to hurt anyone. One man lunged at Femi, landing a stinging slap across his face. "Give me your phone and bag," he barked. Femi froze, heart pounding, as his belongings were snatched away.